Welcome to Biography with Plutarch, where we embark on a fascinating journey through the lives of remarkable individuals, seeking to understand the intricacies of their character and the experiences that shaped them. Today, we delve into the life of Alfred Hitchcock, the master filmmaker who has left an indelible mark on the world of cinema. With his innovative techniques, dark themes, and unmistakable style, Hitchcock has become synonymous with suspense and intrigue. But to truly comprehend the man behind the legend, we must begin at the beginning, in the early years of his life, where the foundations of his character were laid. Alfred Joseph Hitchcock was born on August 13, 1899, in Leytonstone, a charming suburb of London, England, nestled in the heart of the East End. The Hitchcocks' family home, a modest Victorian house on Coppermill Lane, was just a stone's throw away from the bustling streets of London, where the sounds of hawkers and costermongers filled the air. His father, William Hitchcock, a greengrocer and poulterer, owned a small shop on the high road, where young Alfred would often help with deliveries, developing a keen sense of observation and an eye for detail that would later serve him well in his cinematic endeavors. The smell of fresh produce and the sight of pyramids of fruit and vegetables would become etched in Hitchcock's memory, influencing his use of visual motifs in his films. The family's modest means and traditional values instilled in Alfred a strong work ethic and a respect for authority, which would influence his approach to filmmaking and his relationships with collaborators. His mother, Emma Jane Whalen, was a devout Catholic, who ensured that the household was run according to strict Catholic principles. The Hitchcock's faith played a significant role in shaping Alfred's worldview, with its emphasis on morality, discipline, and the importance of hard work. This upbringing would later influence Hitchcock's depiction of themes such as guilt, redemption, and the human condition in his films. Growing up in a devout Catholic household, Hitchcock was educated at the London County Council School, where he excelled academically, particularly in mathematics and science. He was an avid reader, devouring books on history, geography, and literature, which sparked his imagination and fostered a love for storytelling. Later, at the Salesian College, a Catholic boarding school in Battersea, Hitchcock developed an interest in engineering and navigation, skills that would serve him well in his future career as a filmmaker. The discipline and structure of his education laid the foundation for his meticulous attention to detail and perfectionism, which would become hallmarks of his filmmaking style. However, it was during his teenage years that Alfred's fascination with the world of entertainment began to take hold. He would often sneak into the local cinema, mesmerized by the silent films of Charlie Chaplin and D.W. Griffith, which sparked a passion for storytelling and visual expression. The magic of the movies captivated him, and he spent hours watching the flickering images on screen, analyzing the techniques used by these pioneers of cinema. This early exposure to film would shape his understanding of the medium and inspire him to become a master filmmaker in his own right. The early 20th century was a time of great change and upheaval in England, with the advent of World War, the first casting a long shadow over the nation. The war's impact on Hitchcock's family was significant, as his father's business struggled to stay afloat amidst food shortages and economic uncertainty. These challenges likely contributed to Alfred's resourcefulness and adaptability, traits that would serve him well in the unpredictable world of filmmaking. The war also brought about a sense of patriotism and duty, which would influence Hitchcock's later films, such as Foreign Correspondent, 1940, and Lifeboat, 1944, which explored themes of nationalism and survival. As a young man, Hitchcock found employment with the London branch of the Henley Telegraph Company, where he worked as a draftsman and later as an advertising designer. This experience not only honed his visual skills, but also introduced him to the world of commercial art, teaching him the importance of captivating audiences through compelling imagery. It was during this period that Hitchcock began to explore his creative interests, attending art classes at the London County Council School of Engineering and Navigation, where he studied drawing, painting, and architecture. He also experimented with photography, taking pictures of the city's landmarks and streets, which helped him develop an eye for composition and lighting. The cultural landscape of London in the 1910s and 1920s was vibrant and eclectic, with the influence of European art movements such as Expressionism and Surrealism beginning to make itself felt. Hitchcock's exposure to these avant-garde currents would later inform his cinematic style, which often blended elements of horror, comedy, and social commentary. He frequented the city's theaters, watching plays by Shakespeare, Ibsen, and Shaw, and attending concerts at the Queen's Hall, where he was introduced to the works of composers like Debussy and Stravinsky. This rich cultural heritage would shape his artistic vision, as he drew upon a wide range of influences to create his unique brand of cinematic storytelling. In these formative years, we see the emergence of a complex and multifaceted individual, driven by a passion for storytelling, a keen eye for detail, and an insatiable curiosity about the human condition. The seeds sown during his childhood and adolescence, his love of storytelling, his attention to detail, and his fascination with the human condition would germinate into a body of work that would captivate audiences worldwide, cementing Hitchcock's status as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. As the 1920s unfolded, Hitchcock's career began to gain momentum, marked by a series of innovative and influential films that would solidify his reputation as a master filmmaker. It was an era of great change and creativity in the film industry, with the rise of Hollywood and the emergence of new technologies that would revolutionize the art of storytelling. In 1922, Hitchcock joined the London-based film production company Gainsborough Pictures, where he worked as a title card designer, meticulously crafting the visual elements that would introduce each scene to the audience. As he honed his skills, he eventually transitioned into editing and directing, demonstrating a keen eye for detail and a deep understanding of the medium. The streets of London provided a rich backdrop for Hitchcock's early work, with its fog-shrouded alleys, bustling markets, and ornate theaters. The city was alive with energy, and Hitchcock drew inspiration from its vibrant atmosphere, weaving tales that were both quintessentially British and universally relatable. His first major breakthrough came with the release of The Pleasure Garden in 1925, a silent romantic drama that showcased his emerging style and attention to detail. The film's lush settings, intricate plot, and nuanced characterizations all hinted at the mastery that would come to define Hitchcock's later work. The following year, Hitchcock directed The Mountain Eagle, a film now considered lost, but one that demonstrated his growing confidence as a director. Although the movie itself has been erased from the historical record, its production marked an important milestone in Hitchcock's development, as he began to experiment with themes and techniques that would become hallmarks of his style. However, it was The Lodger, a story of the London fog, 1927, that truly announced Hitchcock's arrival on the cinematic scene. This silent thriller, inspired by the Jack the Ripper murders, featured a distinctive visual style and a sense of suspense that would become synonymous with his later work. As Hitchcock delved deeper into the world of The Lodger, he became increasingly fascinated with the psychological complexities of its characters. The film's protagonist, a mysterious and troubled figure, embodied the darker aspects of human nature, and Hitchcock's portrayal of this character's inner turmoil would foreshadow his later explorations of the human psyche. The movie's use of shadows, lighting, and composition created a sense of unease, drawing the audience into the heart of the mystery. This was a deliberate choice, one that reflected Hitchcock's growing understanding of the power of cinema to manipulate emotions and create a sense of tension. Hitchcock's collaboration with actress Ivor Novello on The Lodger marked the beginning of a fruitful creative partnership, one that would yield several notable films in the years to come. Novello's charismatic presence on screen brought depth and nuance to the movie, and his working relationship with Hitchcock was built on a foundation of mutual respect and trust. As they worked together, they developed a shorthand that allowed them to communicate complex ideas and emotions with ease, resulting in performances that were both captivating and authentic. The success of The Lodger also caught the attention of British International Pictures, BIP, which offered Hitchcock a contract to direct a series of films at their Elstree studios. This was a significant turning point in his career, as it provided him with the resources and support necessary to realize his artistic vision on a larger scale. Over the next few years, Hitchcock directed a string of successful films, including Downhill, 1927, The Ring, 1927, and Champagne, 1928. These movies not only showcased his technical proficiency, but also his ability to craft compelling stories that explored themes of love, morality, and the human condition. As the British film industry began to shift towards sound, Hitchcock adapted seamlessly, directing his first talkie, Blackmail, 1929, a thriller that premiered at the Regal Cinema in London on June 21, 1929. The introduction of sound presented new challenges and opportunities for filmmakers, and Hitchcock was eager to explore the possibilities of this emerging technology. He experimented with the use of dialogue, music, and sound effects to create a more immersive experience for the audience, and his innovative approach helped to establish him as a leader in the field. The early 1930s were a period of significant creative growth for Hitchcock, marked by films such as Murder, 1930, and The 39 Steps, 1935. The latter, an adaptation of John Buchan's novel, featured a memorable performance from Robert Donat and introduced many of the themes and motifs that would become synonymous with Hitchcock's work, including the wrong man scenario and the use of suspense to drive the narrative. As he delved deeper into the world of espionage and intrigue, Hitchcock became increasingly fascinated with the psychological complexities of his characters, exploring the blurred lines between good and evil, and the moral ambiguities that defined human nature. As his reputation continued to grow, Hitchcock attracted the attention of Hollywood, and in 1939 he relocated to the United States, signing a contract with David O. Selznick Productions. The move to Hollywood was both exhilarating and intimidating, as Hitchcock navigated the complexities of a new industry and confronted the challenges of working with a different system and a different culture. Hitchcock's relationship with Selznick was complex and multifaceted, marked by periods of intense creativity and collaboration, as well as moments of tension and conflict. Despite their differences, they shared a deep passion for storytelling and a commitment to excellence, which resulted in some of the most enduring films of all time. As they worked together, Hitchcock found himself drawn into Selznick's orbit, influenced by his producer's vision and enthusiasm, yet also driven to assert his own artistic identity. The production of Rebecca was a defining moment in this creative partnership, as Hitchcock brought his unique perspective to the adaptation of Daphne du Maurier's novel. The film's use of atmospheric settings, its exploration of the human psyche, and its nuanced characterization all reflected Hitchcock's growing mastery of the medium. As he worked with Selznick to bring the story to life, he found himself drawn into the world of Manderley, the grand estate at the heart of the narrative, and the complex web of relationships that bound its characters together. As Hitchcock's career continued to flourish in Hollywood, he found himself at the helm of some of his most iconic films, including Strangers on a Train, 1951, Rear Window, 1954, and Vertigo, 1958. The latter, a haunting tale of obsession and identity, would go on to become one of Hitchcock's most beloved and enduring works. With its innovative use of camera techniques, such as the pioneering employment of the dolly zoom, which created a sense of disorienting unease, and its exploration of the human psyche, Vertigo, cemented Hitchcock's reputation as a master of psychological suspense. As the fog-shrouded streets of San Francisco provided the backdrop for Vertigo, Hitchcock delved deeper into the complexities of the human mind, weaving a tale that was both a thrilling mystery and a profound exploration of the fragility of human identity. The film's protagonist, Scotty Ferguson, played by James Stewart, embodied the contradictions of human nature, a man both brave and vulnerable, driven by a desire to uncover the truth, yet haunted by his own dark past. Through Scotty's journey, Hitchcock probed the blurred lines between reality and illusion, creating a sense of cinematic unease that would leave audiences spellbound. Throughout the 1960s, Hitchcock continued to push the boundaries of filmmaking, experimenting with new techniques and themes in films such as Psycho, 1960, and The Birds, 1963. The former, with its shocking shower scene, which still sends shivers down the spines of audiences today, and its exploration of the darker aspects of human nature, would become a cultural phenomenon. The infamous shower scene, with its staccato editing and jarring sound design, was a masterclass in building tension and suspense, as Hitchcock expertly manipulated the audience's emotions, creating a sense of collective gasp that would be etched into the memories of moviegoers for generations to come. The latter, The Birds, with its eerie portrayal of avian terror, would showcase Hitchcock's ability to craft compelling stories that tapped into the deepest fears of his audiences. The film's setting, the picturesque coastal town of Bodega Bay, provided a sense of idyllic tranquility, which Hitchcock masterfully disrupted with an onslaught of bird attacks, creating a sense of chaos and unpredictability. As the birds descended upon the town, their shrill cries and flapping wings evoking a sense of primal terror, Hitchcock probed the darker aspects of human nature, revealing the fragility of human existence in the face of an unpredictable and often hostile natural world. As the years went by, Hitchcock's health began to decline, but his creative spirit remained unbroken. Despite struggling with weight issues and mobility problems, Hitchcock continued to work tirelessly, driven by a passion for storytelling that burned brighter with each passing year. In 1972, he was awarded the American Film Institute's Life Achievement Award, a testament to his enduring impact on the world of cinema. As he accepted the award, Hitchcock reflected on his life's work, saying, "I've always believed that the greatest films are those that evoke a sense of wonder, a sense of awe, and a sense of fear." His words echoed through the auditorium. A reminder of the power of cinema to transport us to new worlds, to challenge our assumptions, and to confront our deepest fears. In 1979, Hitchcock was knighted by Queen Elizabeth II for his services to film, a recognition of his contributions to the art form that had been his passion for over 6 decades. As he looked back on his life, Hitchcock could take pride in knowing that he had left an indelible mark on the world of cinema, inspiring generations of filmmakers and captivating audiences with his unique brand of suspense and intrigue. The knighthood ceremony, held at Buckingham Palace, was a poignant moment for Hitchcock as he stood before the Queen, his eyes shining with a sense of pride and accomplishment. Alfred Hitchcock passed away on April 29, 1980, at the age of 80, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire and influence filmmakers to this day. His films continue to captivate audiences with their timeless themes, intricate plots, and masterful suspense, a testament to the enduring power of Hitchcock's art. Today, Hitchcock is remembered as one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, a master of suspense and intrigue who continues to captivate audiences with his timeless classics. His influence can be seen in everything from the films of Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg to the television shows of Alfred Hitchcock Presents and The Twilight Zone. The iconic theme music of Psycho, the haunting score of Vertigo, and the suspenseful plot twists of Rear Window have become an integral part of our cultural lexicon, a reminder of the profound impact that Hitchcock's films have had on our collective imagination. Hitchcock's legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the transformative power of cinema, its ability to challenge, to provoke, and to inspire us in ways that few other art forms can. And so, we continue to return to his films, again and again, drawn by the masterful suspense, the intricate plots, and the profound insights into human nature that have come to define the Hitchcockian universe. That's all for today's Biography with Plutarch. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that understanding the lives of remarkable individuals helps us better understand ourselves.